like to go to the medicine office. I don't like it, especially now. Because anything you want to do, they say just emergency. Okay, maybe I will collapse of something else. You know.
It's better not to go there.
Gali pasakyti, čia yra labai daug signalų ir dabar jau viskas yra gerai.
Gerai, it's perfect, now we can start.
Okay.
Tai gal aš pakalbu lietuviškai ir po to perinam.
Gerai.
So I will start in Lithuanian and then we go in English languages. Jau? Sveiki, čia pasivaikščiojimai su versliais ir šį kartą esame mes Budvoje, Juodkalnijoje, bene viename iš gražiausių turbūt Europos krašte. Ir šiandien kalbiname itin verslę moterį, tai yra tapytoja, mokytoja ir tikrai išgirsime įdomią istoriją. So, hello!
Hi!
Let's go! So, firstly, I want that you introduce yourself. What you do, what is your hobby, what is your business?
Okay, my name is Jelena Papović. I'm from Montenegro. I grew up and I chose to live here in Budva. I'm a painter. That is what I choose to do in my life. That's not profession, it's my occupation. That is my passion and my way of living. But, you know, it's really hard to live just from your art. So, let's say I explore myself in journalism. I used to work for some TV station.
Oh, really?
And now I work in a school.
Mm-hmm. And when you will start, when you started art business, when you start to earn money from painting?
Oh, luckily, very soon when I finish my faculty, I finished Faculty of Art here on Cetinje and master degree in Belgrade in Serbia. And soon I have my first own exhibition, so I start to sell my art. Of course, we have now that opportunity that we spread ourselves through the net. So I also use internet to commercialize my art to everyone, everywhere to see what I'm doing. And that's good because we are in touristic city. Lots of people all around the world travel here. And I think it's good. You saw my studio is not on the center of the city. It is in small street, and I think that's good because only aventuristic people could find me. And I think those people that search something new, something not explore, they are really good as my, how you say, as my,
Doesn't matter.
sorry. No, it's rough to say my buyers, my clients.
Yeah, clients.
Yeah.
And talking about clients, from what country we will?
Oh, that's the question how people live.
Really?
From my experience, the best clients for me are people that live in some rough nature. Let's say Austria, Germany, you know, where it's already cold, north part Scandinavia, Russia. I think those people have that culture living inside. So if they, especially in Scandinavia, when you have night during the day, it's really, you can't feel that nature that surrounds you. So they live inside and they love to change their environment. How they do it with art. So they are great collectors of art, not just paintings, sculptures, the things of glass, you know, everything they collect from all around the world when they travel, and they feel their home, and then they change the space just with art, and they make that space living.
And the space would be different with another painting.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, talking about your painting, we saw lots of human's body.
Yeah.
So could you explain? You love human body? You love animals?
I think that we all should start with something that is familiar for us. So I'm human. For me, human body is familiar. And actually, during studying, they say that I'm really good with portraits, but you don't see them on my paintings because I want to explore that body language, how we walk, how we sit, what state of our feelings are, how we behave, not with impression of the face, because now we have on our phone camera and we could take that face.
Everywhere,
but
everything.
Some really small things could show how other person is feeling. And of course, because I grew up here on the sea, the first creatures between humans were sea creatures, dolphins, whales, sea turtles, jellyfish. But then even when I explore human body, I'm really in touch with mythology, you know. And I grew up here and I was built in that ancient Greek mythology, so that's really familiar for me.
And it's very rich of history, this region.
Yes, and here in Budva we are really in touch with that heritage. So even then, when I get my kids and when I start to read them all those stories, even from Slavonic people, the folk stories, etc., I start to explore really those animals that influence us, that we people see some greater things, that we explain ourselves through them and what's happened to us through them. So the raven, for me, I was really inspired because everyone now is afraid of that bird and they think it brings bad, but actually there were a spirit of wisdom before all, and that those things are some kind interesting for me.
And talking about inspiration, so during the day, what inspired you to paint? What is something special?
I don't know. You look at where I live. You could find
It's a stupid question, yes, I understand.
Inspiration everywhere you go. But I think it's we are just everything goes through us. I think that's some energy that you can't capture, that just go through you and your work. And I think that there is that inspiration came from the work. You need to work. Just in one moment, maybe you are not conscious that moment that inspiration came to you.
Yes. And talking about business things, I think that your art studio, your art things is not the hobby, it's some type of business. And is it easy to start to have your own business in Budva, in Montenegro, especially for a young person? Is it easy?
It's not easy if you think about art as business, because we don't have those structures in law that will make easy to start something like that. You need to find a lot of compromise, and they are not good compromise for us, because when you have a good solid country, the government think that art is something really precious, and they want to protect any culturology heritage, any art heritage of some disaster. So they really help people who are in art. What to say, it is a difficult time for Montenegro. We used to have lots of wars here. We are really poor country, even we have all natural goods here. But, that's a transit. All those countries from communistic heritage have that transit to go back and rebuild themselves. But, if you want, you have that opportunity of internet, especially now when we have Corona disaster and all those lockdowns. You need to change yourself, not to sit on one place
And wait for something.
wait that someone come to you. It is to open yourself to every place, and then people will find you. And the best place for research that is internet.
Yeah, I wish to say for you that don't worry, the government will create really good law system for creators, but the same system is in our country, in Lithuania, that for young people, especially for art person, it's really difficult to live good to earn big money, because the law system is not for good for one person business. And good line you take talking about internet and another opportunities. So what type of marketing, of advertising channels you use in order to make popular your arts? Do you use some Facebook, Instagram?
The simple way is to use Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, but also there are a lot of galleries before Corona that are open on internet. They are very good, established galleries, and they have connection with collectors and artists. So they could be there, okay, they take some profit of that, but that's okay. Any gallery take profit from my work. So that's really good. Even sometimes you could choose to go somewhere, and sometimes some of the galleries explore artists on internet, and they send you invitation to be part of their gallery. That's really good. Some of the galleries, I don't know, Saatchi and Saatchi, it was really well-known gallery in New York. Some artistic, also contemporary art galleries they are established in Paris. They contacted me 2 years ago, and they anything you fulfill in English, but they translate on 8 languages.
Oh my God.
So they are really serious people who really do their job.
And talking about Corona time, that was in the past.
Hopefully it is the past.
I think so. That the worst is in the past. Had you do something special things talking about online? For example, online exhibition of your arts. Don't you do this one?
Okay. I'm really bad in those things.
Oh.
I build my website. I find one really nice person to do that for me. But I'm the artist. There are a lot keywords, explanations, talking about art, and I'm a painter, and it is, let's say, I'm not a writer. It's a little bit too much for me to sit all day long and to fulfill 10 paintings somewhere and to find so perfect keywords and to explain what I really want with that paintings. I think they expect too much from us. You know, it will be easier for, let's say, someone from marketing as you are to do that for me.
So you don't ever think about some assistant that will do all these things for you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't work at school if I have that money to have assistants to do it for me.
I think after a few years you will have this one.
Nice of you.
And a little about your job in school. You are art teacher?
Yeah, I'm art teacher and I give a class of history of art, and I start one really nice workshop that big firm, Linkėjimai, established now in Budva. It is a free art workshop for all kids in Budva, and I do it with Julia Malinovskaya. She's a ceramic artist. So we teach kids really different things about art and give them some really extraordinary tools and have a nice environment, very inspirational. And what was really nice, we have kids here from Budva, from Montenegro, also from Ukraine, Russian and Turkey. So it is really nice when you see how art break all boundaries, you know, around those kids when they communicate just through art.
From especially different countries.
Yeah.
And what about working with child? It's another skills.
Yeah, I think that people really have a bad opinion about art and artists. They just think that they drink wine and play guitar all day long.
We saw lots of playing guitar people.
They think about that about me also. But I think that especially for the kids, when they start to explore art, they will open their mind. They will think in different way, you know. Every knowledge now we have on internet. Everything is there, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, everything. But you need mind that collaborate all that. And if we have just like that people, they don't have the way of thinking, creative way of thinking. And art is good to push you to be creative, to think creative, you know, to combine all those things and skills that you have.
I think so that art that you make, it's really show that art could be very intelligent. Especially it's very interesting and special to show that for the kids, that it's not just guitar and wine, but it's really intelligent. You can show and say some idea to the world.
Of course, and if you think about, let's say, some doctors from beginning of last century, 94 or 5, you have doctor that play some instruments, violin, guitar, that know to tell you the poem, to quarters you with all sort of poems, and to know philosophy and to speak freely about art. Nowadays you have doctors just like that. They are like administration.
Like conveyor fabric.
They don't explore themselves. They are not open to think about what is problem with you. They just make tests. They don't think about you as one creature. They just go to compare with others.
Like
know?
mathematical formula,
Yeah.
1 plus 2.
So anything, let's say, if we are honest, all artists, they should be good in philosophy, in science. You have combined all the time through history, science and art. They push one each other, you know. Optical, we get the camera and those things really, because Impressionists explore the light. They paint just the light, so they make those dots, pointillism, and that's how the first TV works, you know, with those dots in different colors. So they push each other all the time. That's the creative way of thinking.
I agree with you. I think that a person, especially nowadays, should be very multicultural, multifunctional, multi-thinking. Because if you just look through this one, you don't see how beautiful, for example, is Budva.
Yeah, it's really funny because tourists, I saw them, they take phone, get camera or video, and they walk like this through the city. They don't look through the city. Their camera look the city, and they really don't feel the heritage of those stones and streets and other. They just record it. I say, but for what they are recorded if they don't feel it, you know?
For what reason? In order to put some photos to the Facebook or Instagram?
Oh, okay, some photo, but all the time to capture, and you don't say, let's say it is interesting when you enjoy the sunlight, but enjoy the sunlight and in 1 second take a photo, not all the time, you know?
Yes. And talking about Facebook and Instagram, which is more popular in your country?
Okay, my kids tell me that just old people use Facebook and that's past, and that Instagram is more popular.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I think this is the rule for all world now in this day. And I think that it would be the last but not the least question. What can you suggest for a person who is dreaming about his own business, his own art gallery? What would be your suggestion?
To follow the heart. I think that people are a little bit afraid when they came to gallery or to the art studio. They are afraid of themselves, what they like of art, because it really shows what they are. But any art, you could have different opinion about one painting. Someone love it, someone doesn't feel nothing, someone hate it. Hard to comfortate with that art. So if someone start his gallery, just to follow the heart, to research, to travel, to find some new way of thinking in art.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, I think that the courage is the best way to be some art galleries.
So I want to say a really big thank you for this conversation. I really in love Montenegro, and especially the Budva Old Town. It's very beautiful. It's, I don't know, something special. And I think we will see after a few years when you will be really a big creator on the whole world, and you want to be the teacher, and you will have the assistant.
Okay, I love to teach. I love to spread the knowledge, but that's something, let's say, to help through transition in the life. I think it's good to give that knowledge to others. I think that's something that we should do to make this world a better place.
You will do this. I know this one. Thank you.
Thank you.